Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with this 2012 Holden Barina, and it's got the EcoTec 1.4 litre engine in it. And today I'm going to show you how to replace the intake VVT solenoid on this vehicle. Now this engine is actually quite common, and this procedure also applies to the 1.6 and 1.8 EcoTec engines. And you can find the engine also in a number of other Holdens and also Chevys. You got it in the Sonics, etc. So anyway, today let's get into replacing this intake VVT solenoid. So the reason that we're replacing the intake VVT solenoid on this vehicle is it has trouble starting, and when you scan the vehicle it comes up with timing issues and misfires. Now, but it only has issues on startup. Sometimes it won't start up at all, but I'll drop a clip in of when I just started it just now from a cold start, and you can hear that it really did start rough. Now, as you can see from that clip, it did take a few turns the engine to actually start, and then it started running rough. But after the engine warms up, that misfire goes away completely. Now that's why we're replacing the intake VVT solenoid here today. So when you look at these EcoTec engines, on the front side is the exhaust and on the rear side is the inlet. So basically you have a VVT solenoid, variable valve timing, for both the exhaust and the inlet. So today we're going to be replacing the one at the back here. So the first thing we need to do is to actually remove the wiring harness, and that's got a little safety clip. But because the rear, the one on the inlet, is actually upside down, I'll just show you how to undo the safety clip from the one at the front, which is identical. So we come in and we just pull this plastic tab back. See, I've pulled that plastic tab back there, and then we press down and you'll be able to pull off that electrical connector. So I'll put this one back on, pop that back in, and now I'll just do the one at the rear. So it's really hard with the camera position, but I'll do my best. So we pop that little safety clip out there, just like that, and then I can squeeze up, and then we can pull that connector off. There we go. Now we'll just point out there is just one bolt at the rear that holds that VVT solenoid in, and it's an E8 bolt, so you will need an E8 socket to get that out. And I'll just show you on the new replacement solenoid. So if this is inserted into the back of the motor, you've got the electrical connector which we just pulled off on this side, and the E8 bolt just goes in straight like that from the rear of the vehicle. So we've got our socket in there, and let's get that out now. And I'll just take the handle off and we'll just wind it out the rest of the way by hand. Now you want to be really careful not to drop this bolt anywhere. So just be careful, and we'll just pick it up by hand as it comes out. And there we go. We've got that little bolt out that holds that VVT solenoid in. So with that bolt out, you should be able to pull the VVT solenoid out. Now, if it's never been out, it could be a little bit tight, so just grab some multi grips and just get on the end of it and give it a bit of a wiggle like I've done there. And then with that out, we should be able to just pull that straight out. Now, I've got a cloth here to put down because I expect it's probably going to leak a little bit of oil as it comes out. And I'll just pop that cloth down there just to catch any oil that comes out. And then straight away we can have a look at this VVT solenoid. Now we can see that the screen on the end has got sediment in it, so I really do think that the issue probably is that this one is contaminated and just not operating properly when it's cold. Just comparing the two, they look the same, so we'll pop the new one in and see what a difference it makes. So installing the new one really is the reverse procedure of taking out the old one. So just place that in the hole there and then just push that in. And then it's a matter of reinstalling the bolt that secures the VVT solenoid in place, being very careful not to drop it and lose it, and then just doing it up snug. So then the final thing to do is to reconnect the electrical connector, and as we took it off, we know that the safety clip, release clip, goes underneath. So just push that in like that till it clicks in, and then push that safety clip in like that. So let's give it a test start. So I've just taken the Barina for a test drive, and all of those misfire issues are completely gone now. It's running really smooth. So the last thing to do is to actually clear the fault codes that are in the engine computer unit. And to do that, I'm going to use my iCarSoft scan tool. Now, if you don't have one of these and you've been getting a check engine light and you've just self-diagnosed, it's probably not overly necessary. You could leave those fault codes, the check engine light will go away. But for me, I want to clear all the fault codes and also reset any misfire data that's in the ECU, so that I can do a scan in a few weeks' time and absolutely confirm that there are no ongoing issues with the misfire. So to start with, we want to plug our scan tool into the OBD2 plug, and we can do an auto scan. Now, make sure the ignition's turned on. So I've got our ignition on, and we'll actually start the vehicle as well. Certainly is starting smooth now. Hit F1, straight away you can see the ECM fault. This vehicle's got a few other faults in it. I'll just let it scan the whole lot. It is actually a really fast unit. The radio's got a fault. I've seen these before. So let's come into the ECM data, read fault code, state misfire detected as I expected. So we'll just come back, and then it's really as simple as selecting clear fault memory, ignition on and engine off. Okay, so we'll turn the engine off, but we'll put the ignition back on. It's got that annoying ding sound. So hit OK, erasing fault code, operation done. So I'll press F1 to escape. We'll read that fault code. No fault code found. All right, and let's just start the engine again, and then we'll come into view that live data and cycle around to misfire data, and let's just select all, done, and let's just check the values here. All right, so we've got 0 counts across all of the cylinders. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 counts. Fantastic. So there you go, folks. As you saw, it hunted a little bit on the RPM on startup, but there was no misfire at all. You could hear the engine was actually really smooth. So we've solved the issue with the misfire on startup with this little Holden Barina with the EcoTec engine by replacing that VVT intake solenoid. And as I said in the beginning, this is the same procedure on all your EcoTec engines, your 1.4s, 6, 8s, across your Holden and your Chevy range. So if you're interested in that, hit that like button, share out there to the community, and if you're interested in learning about more DIY maintenance on vehicles on the channel, we've also got the Mercedes, the Audi A3, the Mazda 3, the early Ford Falcon. So if you're interested in any of that content, as well as more Barina content, because there's heaps of issues with this car, then do subscribe to the channel. But until next time, have a good evening.